And Sakura, is she really a fox demon?
Yes, she is.
Now, did you notice the question Logan asked Jing Fei? And Sakura, is she really a fox demon? This is an example of a head question. A head question is mostly used after another question. It is basically used to add variety. You don't want to keep asking the same kind of question. It gets boring. And it is used to emphasize the subject, to make the subject sound more important by putting it at the beginning of the question. So, for example, we can ask the direct question, is Sakura a fox demon? Or we could ask an indirect question. Could you tell me if Sakura is a fox demon? Or we can be very polite and ask a tag question. You wouldn't mind telling me if Sakura is a fox demon, would you? Or we can ask a head question. And Sakura, is she a fox demon? To make a head question, we firstly say and, if you want to, plus subject plus direct question with a pronoun that refers back to the subject. For our example, and Sakura, is she a fox demon? She is a pronoun and refers back to Sakura. Another example. Here we have a direct question. How old is Sakura? To turn this into a head question, we say the subject first and Sakura, then the question form with a pronoun. How old is she? She refers back to Sakura. Let's practice one more. A direct question. Who is that girl? Indirect question. Could you tell me who that girl is? Tag question. You don't mind telling me who that girl is, do you? Then a head question. And that girl, who is she? Now, some head questions won't have a pronoun referring back to the subject. We'll talk about that in a more advanced lesson. For the moment, this is the basic structure you want to know when asking a head question. And this pirate Sakura is in love with, who is he?
His name was Vincent. He was a Dutch pirate, feared throughout the land. The very sight of his ship would strike fear in the hearts of anyone who was unlucky enough to see it. With his bloodthirsty crew, he raided coastal towns and captured treasure ships. Some said he was the very devil himself, put upon the earth to terrorize and bring fear to all who set eyes upon him.
Did you notice Logan asked a tag question? You couldn't explain to me why I am part of all of this, could you? Tag questions, as we have already seen, are used to make very polite questions. You can also use them to make very polite requests and very politely ask for permission. We are going to finish talking about polite questions by lastly looking in a little more detail at question tags. To make a tag question, start with a subject pronoun. For example, you. Then use an indirect phrase in the negative. Some common phrases you can use are can't, couldn't tell me, don't know, don't mind telling me, wouldn't mind telling me. Then a WH question or if, then subject verb. Then lastly, take the auxiliary verb or helping verb from the indirect phrase and make it positive. Then follow it with the subject pronoun. So here we have a normal question. What time is it? To turn it into a question, we would say, you don't know what the time is, do you? Or, you couldn't tell me what the time is, could you? One more example. A direct question. Excuse me, where are you from? The tag question. Excuse me, you don't mind telling me where you're from, do you? Here we have a yes or no question. Do you like chocolate? You can't tell me if you like chocolate, can you? Tag questions can be a little difficult to make, but if you are in a situation where you are asking a stranger for help or need to be polite, tag questions are great to use, and they also add variety to how you can ask questions. Wow, this is such an unbelievable story. But the biggest question I want to ask you is this. You can explain to me why I am a part of all of this, could you? Why are you telling me all this? And Sakura, why is she so important to you?
Have you ever heard of Arabin Barbarossa? You should have, you know. He was your great-great-great-great-grandfather. And he was the best friend of Vincent. But before he met Vincent, Arabin had many adventures in Egypt. On one of these adventures, Arabin broke into a tomb of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh and stole something precious. Sakura wants that thing, and believes that you have it. As for Sakura and I, we go way back a very long time.